But
I asked a dentist, very renowned dentist. I asked him, "How many times do you brush twice a day?" He said, "No, you don't brush twice a day. You brush once a day and once in the night." There's only one celebrity who doesn't advertise tobacco who is Sachin Tendulkar. In fact, he was given a blank check to do a tobacco advert and he refused. But there's another big culprit, which is biscuit. Nobody talks about it.
nobody.
Yeah, but biscuit is as bad as packet noodle.
Worse.
Worse, exactly. Where people are not aware, and it's a common phenomenon that people have tea in the morning. Oh, have some biscuit with the tea, right? But the biscuit is bad as packet noodle.
Exactly.
Very bad. If we make you the health minister of UK, what would you do about palm oil?
I would make sure that the palm oil that we get in the UK is all ethically sourced.
Okay.
That's the only thing I would do. So traffic light system is basically a way of simplifying the nutritional information of that particular product. So you group things into
We are talking about these circles with red, blue, green in lots of chips packets.
yes, it's in the front of the product, and it's basically
Do
green.
all products have it?
All products that are
Which are
made in the UK should have it.
How do you store the leftovers? Do you still put it in the fridge, or what's the way to do it?
Ideally, you should refrigerate them as soon as they are cool to touch, or
Okay.
you should not leave them for a long time.
Welcome to another episode of Rollover Show. I'm so excited to have our guest today. She's gonna bust all the myths about nutrition and diet. The Rollover Show is all about giving the right information and the right knowledge from the experts. We are not traditional media who give you biased information, political information. This is pure knowledge and not by somebody who is off the street. We have only experts here. And in this episode, you're going to learn a lot of things, a lot of myths which you come across on the internet regarding food and diet. All those things will be cleared by our guest today. Our guest today is a doctor, a nutritionist, a mother of two. The knowledge she has regarding food and diet is unparalleled. Before we begin, please like and subscribe our channel. It's very important that you like and subscribe our channel. A lot of people watch our channel, but only 30% people actually subscribe to the channel. It helps us grow the channel and get more knowledgeable guests in our channel. Welcome to the show, Dr. Jasdeep Gupta. We are honored to have you here. Thank you so much for taking your time off from your work and busy schedule. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm fine. Yourself?
Good. I'm so happy that you are here and so excited that you are here. I had to do a lot of research before you came here to make sure that I asked the right question. Now, before we begin, my first question to you, you're Punjabi.
Yes, I
Punjabis
am.
are known to be like happy to eat a lot of food, but when you when somebody looks at you, it looks like there's no Punjabi in you. There's purely dietitian in you. Yeah. Tell us about yourself. How did you get into nutrition? What made you get into nutrition?
Well, as a doctor, we are used to treating patients, and we do a good job of it. But the thing is, in my career, I've seen so many patients with so many medical problems. And in my family itself, so many patients with so many medical problems, which most of them can be managed or can be avoided by taking care of your diet and your lifestyle. So rather than cure, I was more interested in prevention. And
They say your body is the biggest real estate you can own.
Definitely.
And you should live in your real estate as a landlord, not like a tenant. But
Definitely.
most of us live like a tenant. Is that true? Yeah.
We do, but I think nowadays nutrition has become a hot topic, as you know,
Yeah.
and a lot of people actually pay attention to what they are putting in their body. So that's a good thing that is
Especially after
happening
COVID,
nowadays.
people have become more aware of.
More aware of
Yeah.
what they eat.
Yeah,
Yes.
because during COVID, nobody moved around, and we were eating lots of lots of food, overeating,
Yes.
and there was no physical exercise or something like going to work and stuff. So yeah, people are more aware. So, but then you were a full time doctor. You were a specialist doctor. What made you switch into nutrition? What triggered you?
Well, I have always been passionate about nutrition. I think when I was little, my mother actually was quite interested in nutrition. So that's why we always ate healthy food. We did have unhealthy food at times, but most of our diet was pretty healthy. And that's how I was brought up. And so I've always been interested in nutrition. I have worked as a doctor for over 10 years, but due to some personal commitments, I had to take a career break. And I just thought, why not take this opportunity to learn more about what I'm passionate about?
Okay.
So I did my master's in nutrition, and now I'm a
From
nutritionist.
Aberdeen.
From Aberdeen, yes,
Okay.
at Aberdeen University.
Okay. So you're not somebody who is off the street googling up stuff and self-made nutritionist or something. I know one thing on the internet. If you look up, there are a lot of people who say that they are like specialist dietitians and nutrition, but when you actually search for them, some of them are actually engineers. They have done 1 week course from some university online,
Yeah.
and they call them specialist nutritionists and dietitians.
I
This is-
think everyone can call themselves a nutritionist
no.
nowadays. Well, nutritionist is not a protected term in the UK, if you know.
Okay.
So anyone can call themselves a nutritionist.
So I'll be next. I'll be the competition for you now. Anybody watching this podcast, they can become dietitian. Yeah, but the thing is, if you're hiring a nutritionist or dietitian, you should look up their LinkedIn profile
Yes.
and see what they have actually done. You can't just hire people. There are a lot of fake people all around the internet.
There's a lot of misinformation
Yeah.
in
Like
the
I said,
internet.
one of the dietitian is actually an engineer. who's
Yes,
done
that's what you said,
1 week
yes.
course. You also do a lot of vlogging. Not so much, but you do vlogging.
I do.
You have. You
Yes.
have a channel.
I have started a YouTube channel just recently, so I haven't put out that much
Okay, but
in
you
that.
do
But
come across and post some once in a while.
yes, I post on Instagram, I post on Facebook, and
Okay.
as I said, I've just
So guys,
started
please
doing
follow Jasdeep Gupta. What's your channel?
Healthy
thing?
Plate by Jay.
Healthy plate. So please follow that. Um, there are a lot of messages floating around on the WhatsApp University.
Yes.
What's the funniest message you've seen about diet on WhatsApp?
I think there are quite a few messages and new ones come
Funniest
every
one.
day.
Funniest one.
I can't remember anything funny, but there are lots of health drinks basically which
Okay.
claim to melt fat. So I don't think any drink can melt fat, but
Lemon?
lots of people.
Lemon?
No, nothing melts fat. No, not
Lemon?
at all. No.
People say
No.
drink lemon and hot water in the morning. first
Well,
thing
you
in the
can
morning.
just drink hot water.
Okay.
Lemon is for flavoring. You can put any kind of flavoring. Some people put
But it doesn't
yeah,
actually
herbs or-
doesn't melt anything.
no, it does not melt anything. Fat is metabolized, so it doesn't get melted. But yes, lots of drinks around which actually people do religiously. They have hot water with honey and lemon in the morning, and maybe zira water or maybe other kinds of water. But in the end, it's just warm water that will help.
Warm water.
Yes.
Just warm water early morning, first thing.
Yes.
Okay, that's good for you.
That is good for you, good for your gut health. That will keep things moving. And you also get dehydrated during the night. So it's good for you to wake up and have a glass of warm water in the morning.
Okay. So, but that's a knowledge for you. Number one. tip for the day: hot water in the morning. Um, Body only creates insulin during daylight. Is that true?
No,
That's not true.
no.
So I, this is another WhatsApp university thing, not WhatsApp university thing, but internet thing, where I heard that Jainism, in Jainism, people don't eat food after sunset, and one of the thinking is that because body doesn't create insulin after sunset, and that's a myth.
It is because insulin is secreted in response to food. So that would mean that if you eat food at night, insulin won't be secreted and you will get dangerous amounts of
Nothing to do with-
hyperglycemia.
Nothing to do with sunrise or sunset.
Your hormones are secreted according to the circadian rhythm. That's your body clock. There's a 24-hour clock in your body. And most of the functions of the human body are according to that clock. And hormonal secretion is one of that. But that does not mean that if you don't follow that particular clock, then your body just doesn't work anymore. That would mean that if you have jet lag, if you go eastwards or anywhere basically with different time zones, then your body would fail to function. There would be problems, but still the body functions. But
Okay.
there is a circadian rhythm that the body follows.
That's myth. How many times do you brush? How many times do you brush a day? Because your mouth has some bacteria which eventually affect your gut. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
but they are not the good bacteria.
Okay.
Oral health is directly related to gut health.
Okay.
So if you've got poor oral health, then you would have problems with your gut.
So how many times do you brush a day?
Twice a day.
Twice a
Ideally,
day.
you should brush
So I-
after every meal. But
I asked a dentist, very renowned dentist. I asked him, "How many times do you brush twice a day?" He said, "No, you don't brush twice a day. You brush once a day and once in the night."
yes, that's true.
Not twice a day.
Not twice a day.
Yeah. So, but you're saying you should brush after every meal, before breakfast, after breakfast.
It is a little bit controversial, but the latest research is before breakfast.
Okay. Okay. How about let's talk about tobacco.
Okay.
Not smoking tobacco, but
Eating.
eating tobacco or chewing tobacco, whatever. You see, what does it do to your bacteria? Does it kill the bacteria or does it?
No, it damages your teeth. You can look at any person who chews tobacco, look at their teeth, and you know. So it damages your teeth completely.
Okay. You see so many celebrities advertise and there's only one celebrity who doesn't advertise tobacco who is Sachin Tendulkar. In fact, he was given a blank check to do a tobacco advert and he refused. One of the World Cup, his bat didn't have the label of Will's
Wills, okay.
sticker because he refused. So he's the only one who doesn't do that. Everybody does that advertisement. Okay. Food mafia. Let's talk about that. Okay. Food industry is a big con.
One of the biggest industries.
Biggest con.
Yes.
Biggest con. When we rewind ourselves several thousand BCs away, right? People used to eat natural food, but now I would say our packet food is
Everything.
80-90%. Natural food is very less. What advice would you give our viewers? What kind of food they should eat? Because it's if you go to a grocery shop, what do you buy? Because everything is packed. Right?
Everything is packed. Yes, that's
so
true.
what do you buy? What kind of food should you buy?
Well, mostly your food should consist of fresh fruits and vegetables and whole foods, whole grains. But nowadays, it's not possible always to get everything fresh and do everything ourselves. You won't buy a flour mill and then just grinding your own flour. That's not possible. Everybody is
possible.
busy.
Yeah.
So packaged food has got different levels of processing. So there are minimally processed foods and there are highly processed foods. So things such as flour.
Processed food. Please explain processed food.
Processed foods are something that has the shape or the texture has been changed, that it does not resemble a lot to their natural form.
Okay, far away from the natural. Yeah.
And how far away from their natural form? That's the
Most
definition
dangerous
of
it gets.
Yes, a highly low processed and medium processed and highly processed food.
That's the principle of Sattvic diet. There's a diet called Sattvic diet.
So eat whole foods.
Yeah, and they can let you go a little bit far away from the natural form, but
not too far.
too far. That is Sattvic diet.
Yeah.
And
So even flour is processed, but you eat flour.
I know a girl who had always trouble with her gut, headache, tummy pain, and if you look at her diet, she's basically eating noodles and packed food, processed food, and she was switched to Sattvic diet, and all her things, all her pain
Went
and
away?
everything went away.
Yeah, that's true. So nowadays, most of our diets are ultra processed. Ultra processed foods are processed so much that they do not resemble in any shape, form, taste to their original food. For example, biscuits, crisps are ultra processed.
Let's
So-
talk about biscuits.
Okay.
It's a very low known fact that noodles are bad for you. Yeah, instant noodles.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh, let's not name the noodle. Let's call it Paggy noodles, right? Okay. So Paggy noodle, everybody likes Paggy noodle. You ate Paggy noodle, I ate Paggy noodle.
Yes.
Everybody eats Paggy noodles, right? And we all know that Paggy noodle is bad for you, but we still eat it, and everybody is aware of it. But there's another big culprit, which is biscuit. Nobody talks about it.
Nobody.
Yeah, but biscuit is as bad as Paggy noodle.
Worse.
Worse, exactly. Where people are not aware, and it's a common phenomenon that people have tea in the morning. Oh, have some biscuit with the tea, right? But the biscuit is bad as Paggy noodle.
Exactly.
Very bad.
You can't have tea without biscuits.
What is the biscuit? Biscuit is basically maida, palm oil, and full of
Sugar.
sugar, and
Exactly.
dangerous, absolutely dangerous for you. Yeah. So, and if and the food mafia will advertise as if it's so healthy. Like, let's talk about the mood day biscuit. Let's call it mood day biscuit,
Yeah.
right? Cashew nut mood day biscuit. That thing has only 1% cashew.
Exactly. Most of it is just, as you said, refined flour, oil, sugar, preservatives, fillers, and very, very little cashew, if any. The only cashew is that you see on top of the biscuit.
You talked about preservative. Very interesting fact I heard. The longer the expiry date of any product, shorter your life.
Okay.
because probably that longer expiry date means that it has lots of preservative.
Lots of preservatives.
Yeah, people think, okay, long expiry date must be good. Actually, it has lot of
Preservatives, yes.
yeah. So longer the expiry date, shorter your life. Longer the shelf life, shorter your shelf
Shorter
life.
your shelf life.
That's the interesting fact. Graveyard shift. What does it do to your health? People who work in the night, like software engineers working for America, sitting in India, they have to work graveyard shift, or
I mean, it's unavoidable.
Let's say seafarers who work in the night on the ship.
Doctors.
Doctors, yes.
I mean, it's somewhat unavoidable. If you have to work, sometimes you do have to work unsocial hours. But the thing is, I've talked about circadian rhythm, your body clock. Whenever there's problem with sleep, whenever there's disturbances in sleep or your normal routine, your body clock gets disturbed. And then it disturbs the delicate balance between the hormones, their secretion. And so you get a lot of problems.
How many hours should you sleep?
Ideally 7 to 8 hours. Minimum 7 hours, I would say, should be good quality sleep. I think quality of sleep also matters. You lie down for 8 hours, but you don't get proper sleep, that is also going to affect your health.
Okay.
So you get all the cardiovascular problems, you get high blood pressure, you get high blood sugar. So everything is related to not getting proper sleep, because that causes your body to go into stress as well. So your body gets stressed and you get all these problems.
So how does a CEO who only sleeps 4 hours or 5 hours, or maybe 3 hours, how can he manage this?
I mean, everything is related to stress in the end. So try doing meditation, try doing deep breathing techniques, anything that will take away your stress. Whatever activity you enjoy, maybe you have got a hobby, maybe you had a hobby and you forgot all about it. Try to revive that hobby. That will help you get rid of your stress. And again, I mentioned deep breathing techniques, yoga, yogic breathing. All of that would help against stress, and that will negate some of the effects that the graveyard shift or the less sleep has.
Elon Musk he sleeps only 3 hours or 4 hours.
But then Elon Musk gets money out of it.
How does he manage?
I mean, some people do get used to it. But again, it does take a toll on your body.
I personally sleep very less. Yeah, I have to look into that. Eating out, mean restaurants. All the restaurants use palm oil.
Yes.
And why do they use palm oil?
Because it's cheap, it's neutral, easily available.
What do you mean neutral? Explain.
Neutral means that it does not have its own flavor. It can blend with any
You can
any
go
flavors.
with Chinese, you can go with
Anything.
South Indian,
Yes.
North Indian. You can make dosa out of it, or you can make paneer butter masala out of it.
Exactly.
And it's cheap.
And it's cheap.
How is palm oil made? Is it made in UK or no?
No, it's a tropical fruit. It's a tropical tree.
So mostly imported.
The oil palm tree. It's made from that. But the problem with palm oil is there are a lot of unethical practices regarding its production. So a lot of deforestation is occurring because they need land for palm oil production. And so that most of the palm oil is unethically sourced. That's why it's cheap, and that is its main problem.
Where does it come from? South Asia or mostly South Asia, I guess?
I think so, or I'm not sure about that. But other than its unethical production, it's saturated fat mostly. So most of the palm oil is saturated fat, which is not good for your cardiovascular system. But again, many other oils have got a lot of saturated fat in them. So they're not very different.
Which oil is the best to have?
Olive oil, I would say.
Olive oil.
Olive oil is the best oil that you can have.
That is one information which is uniform all across the world. Everybody knows olive oil is good.
Yes.
Ghee?
Ghee has been shown to have some good qualities, but again, ghee is also saturated fat.
But in India and Punjab, they say, oh, have some ghee wali roti and all that.
And that's why we get so many heart problems in India.
Strong if you have. So you have lots of heart problem because of ghee.
Because of ghee, yes. I mean, it might have some health effects, good health. I'm not an Ayurvedic practitioner. I'm
going to come to that.
I'm trained in conventional medicine. Okay. So I speak facts. I practice evidence-based medicine. The evidence is that ghee has a lot of saturated fat and should be had in moderation only.
Okay, how much?
I would say not more than 2 to 3 teaspoons a day. And that is a lot of ghee. So, and definitely you should not cook in ghee if possible. Yeah, because you need a lot of ghee for cooking. So even olive oil can be used in Indian cooking. There's no problem with olive oil.
I heard any oil, you shouldn't... tell me if it's wrong. People say don't heat the oil and put the vegetables and then fry and then put the chicken, then fry and then make the curry out of it. They say now just don't put any oil, heat the vegetables, and when you're done with it, then pour oil on top of it. Yeah, is that right?
I think
Maybe it
it
won't
will
taste very
depend. Yes,
well.
actually, it will depend on whether you like it or not.
Yeah, but that's the right way to do it.
I would say
Healthy way.
you need fat in your diet. Okay, so you need fat because it keeps you fuller for longer. So if you have something that has got good amount of fat in it, you are less likely to snack afterwards. Okay, fat helps with lowering the glycemic index of the food, so your blood sugar does not rise as much if you add fat to a carbohydrate. For example, if you put ghee on top of roti, it becomes better for you because its glycemic index is lowered. Number three, we have got a lot of vitamins which are fat soluble. So if you don't have fat in your diet, you would not be able to absorb those vitamins, such as vitamin A, vitamin D, E, K. These are all fat soluble vitamins. So
So
you
you need
need
oil.
fat in your diet.
Okay.
But saturated fat should be less.
Okay.
So you can use healthy fats. You can use olive oil. You can use avocado oil, nuts, seeds. All are good and healthy
You
fats.
get
Oily fish.
avocado
You do
oil
get avocado oil. Yes, it's
Yeah.
a little bit expensive.
in normal
But,
superstores?
yes, I have seen it. I have seen it, and it's quite neutral as well.
Where
So you
in
can use it
Pesco,
for.
Pazda, where?
I have seen in Posco. I've seen that there, and I have not seen it anywhere else. I did not look for it. It's
Okay.
probably there because it's becoming more common.
Pesco is good.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll tell you why later on. Uh, so, if we make you the health minister of UK, what you do? What would you do about palm oil?
I think the best
Or let's say
thing.
you're the advisor for the Prime Minister, Mr. Rishi, about palm oil. What advice would you give him?
I would make sure that the palm oil that we get in the UK is all ethically sourced.
Okay.
That's the only thing I would do. Otherwise,
Restaurants using the palm oil.
well, people know that restaurants use palm oil and they still go out to eat there. So I think it's you can't force particular kind of oil on the food industry or the restaurants, but you can make sure that it is ethically sourced. That's all you can do.
People say, like you have smoking is injurious to health sign in your cigarette packet, right? Warning label. A lot of specialist people say that in coming years, any bottle of oil will have this warning
Health
label.
warning.
Yeah.
I've read that they are going to
Just
do
like
that with alcohol as well. The alcohol bottles would carry a warning.
Funny you mentioned alcohol. I've seen one thing that every food, if you turn the back, there is label which gives you the ingredients and stuff.
You
right?
do not see
Nutrition,
that in
but
alcohol
alcohol doesn't have
bottles.
that.
No.
It only says 40% or 5% or whatever alcohol. It doesn't say what
How many-
nutritional facts there are. Why you don't have that?
Some of them, I think the beer bottles contain the number of calories in them.
That's it, but nothing
Yes.
else.
Nothing else. There is nothing else in alcohol.
And why do they don't have? Is that labeling laws or?
I've got no idea what the labeling laws for alcohol are, but certainly food labeling laws we all know. But yes, alcohol bottles don't contain calories or any, because I think there's not many ingredients in alcohol other than just alcohol. So probably that's
Which
the reason.
alcohol is good for your gut? Wine.
Gut. No alcohol is actually good for you
But
or your
but
gut.
Italians always have wine with the
If you
pasta.
are comparing, then I would say beer and wine.
Beer and wine are okay.
Better than other alcohols.
I'll tell my wife. Beer and wine is okay.
It's not okay. It's better than the other alcohols for your gut.
No,
If you're
sorry,
choosing.
viewers, it was just a joke. It was just a joke. How much water do you need to drink every day?
Well, the official recommendations of the Eat Well guide in the UK are 6 to 8 cups of water
Okay.
a day, and that would be about 1.5 to 2 liters a day. Now that's the number of liters of fluid that you should be drinking, not just water. So all the fluids that you have in a day would be counted towards that.
That includes tea, coffee,
Everything. It just depends if
alcohol?
you. No, no, not alcohol. It does not include alcohol. It does include tea and coffee. But if you drink too much of strong coffee, that can actually dehydrate you. So
Too much coffee dehydrates you.
too much strong coffee can dehydrate you, and you have to drink more water to counteract that. But I think a couple of cups of coffee are okay, and tea is mostly okay. So that
Okay.
would count.
You mentioned teaspoons. That reminds me about the labeling, right? When you go to the grocery store, grocery stores, have you noticed one thing? Grocery stores, when you enter any grocery store, Pazda, Pesco, whatever, it starts with the fresh aisle,
Yes,
and then in the center is all packed processed food.
processed food.
So people say that you should treat these grocery store as like a temple, mandir.
Okay,
You should just do a fera around and come out.
Come out.
Yeah, because in the middle is all
It's all
the
packed food.
dangerous stuff. Yeah. One thing people do is pick up packed food, and mostly people what they do look at the price and then the expiry date. That's it.
Yes.
Maximum, right? But nobody actually turns the back and looks up what are the dangerous things or ingredients are. Tell us about labeling thing. Well, how do you read a label? People say everybody should know coding in this day and age, software coding. But I say everybody should know decoding, which is decoding of the labels.
Labels.
Right? So how do you decode these labels? Because in the front is all nice stuff, healthy, fresh.
Yes.
Yeah, but when you turn
you
around,
turn it
the
over.
reality is at the back.
Yes.
How do you read the label? What do you look for?
Well, there are two things that you should be looking for.
Okay.
Number one is the ingredient list,
Okay.
and number two is the nutritional information.
Okay.
So the ingredient list is in the decreasing order of composition. So the thing that is the most in that particular product is mentioned first.
Okay.
So if you have a drink, then water should be the first ingredient.
Okay.
For example, I'm just giving an example. And the second ingredient would be a little bit less than the first ingredient. So it goes in a decreasing order. So if you see sugar as the second ingredient, I think you should just put it back.
Okay, viewers, this is a very good advice. If you see sugar as the top thing, you should avoid. Yeah.
Exactly. And
People say if you cannot pronounce something, you shouldn't have it. Anything chemical kind of thing.
yes, but most of the vitamins that the foods are fortified with also have some names which you can't pronounce.
Okay.
So it's not that, but look for things with multiple ingredients. So if they are more than 5 or 6 or 10, I think you should just steer clear away from that particular thing. So number of ingredients and the ingredient list you should look at.
And sugar. Sugar, stay away
Sugar.
from
And sugar is not actually written as sugar most of the time. So sugar can be sucrose, dextrose, maltose.
Which common people don't understand.
Exactly. And grape juice, high fructose corn syrup. So it is not written as sugar so that most people don't understand that they are having sugar.
One thing,
actually.
one thing good I saw. We went to Mexico, and I think it must be some local law because Mexico has a high consumption of pork, right? And obesity, and I think their national law is to put a label on top of any product which has high sugar. It says high in sugar, high in sugar.
Okay.
Everything I saw with high in sugar actually had a warning sign.
Warning sign.
High in sugar, which we don't have it here.
We need it here,
Yeah.
but we have the traffic light system here.
Traffic light. What is traffic light? Please explain.
So traffic light system is basically a way of simplifying the nutritional information of that particular product. So you group things into
We are talking about these circles with red, blue, green, and lots of chips packets.
yes,
And
it's in the front of the product, and it's basically
do all
green.
products have it?
All products that are
Which are
made in the
packed?
UK should have it.
Packed.
Packed products,
Okay.
yes. But you can get it in some fresh products as well, I've seen.
Okay.
So it's divided into yellow, amber, and green. Green, amber, and red according to the concentration of 5 things. In fact, 4 things. One is salt, sugar, fat, and saturated fat.
Okay.
So, for example, if it's red for sugar, that means it's high sugar.
Stay away.
Stay away. And the 5th information is generally white, which is the energy
Why
in
do we
that
have
particular
sugar?
product.
Seriously, why do we need sugar? When a child is born in India, well, the first thing we feed them is good, the jaggery,
Honey.
honey. Yeah, not sugar. And for first 2 years, I think there's no sugar in the diet of the kid.
First year, you should not add anything, basically, and then less.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt. You can go on with the traffic light thing.
Okay, yes. So, salt, sugar, fat, and saturated fat are displayed according to the traffic light system. And the 5th thing is energy, that the calories that the product has.
But the red light for sugar, stay away.
Red light for saturated fat or salt, anything red, you should stay away, basically. That means that is too much. The other thing about food labeling is you see the nutritional information at the back as well, where it will tell you how much sugar, salt, protein, and all the other things are.
One thing I don't like is the grams. Who understands grams?
Grams is one thing. And the other thing is that it's mostly expressed as per 100 grams. So it should be expressed as per portion. So how do we know what 100 grams of cashews look like? So they should say per portion of this particular.
That is a food mafia con.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't even eat 100 grams of that product. We eat maybe 400 grams of that product. So it's misleading that, okay, it has got only 3 grams of sugar in 100 grams, but you are eating 400 grams of that. So it gets multiplied.
How do we convert grams to teaspoons?
A teaspoon is around 4 grams.
So basically, if it's divide by 4.
Yes.
Yeah. So if it says let's say 16 grams in that packet, you just divide by 4. That means it's 4
teaspoons of sugar. Yeah.
Wow. 4 teaspoons of sugar, which we don't realize.
A bottle or a can of Coke, the full fat Coke, has got 8 teaspoons of sugar. It's got 35 grams of sugar in that.
18 teaspoons of sugar.
Yes, more than 8 teaspoons of sugar.
Does Diet Coke and Diet Coke, okay, let's call it Diet Coke, Zero
Diet
Coke,
drinks.
Do they have sugar in it?
No, they have sweeteners. So they would be better for you if you are replacing your normal drink with the diet drink. Not to say that you should be adding them to your diet, but if you are having normal drink, then if you replace that with diet drink, you would be getting rid of so much of sugar from your diet. But ideally, you should not be having it at all or in moderation.
Okay. Let's talk about ways of cooking. When humanity started, we used to cook with wood fire, right? Then we shifted to coal, right? Then we shifted to gas. Then we had microwave. Then you have air fryer. Okay. Do you know any new technology coming in for cooking?
No, not that I know of. Do you know anything?
No, I don't
No.
know. I'm asking you. You are the specialist.
No.
Air fryer. Is it good?
Depends on what you use it for. So if you would use it as a substitute to frying, yes, it's healthy. but that does not mean you get air fryer and you just start air frying everything.
Okay.
So basically, as a substitute for frying itself, yes, it's good. But if you get frozen chicken nuggets, if you put it in the air fryer also, they are still bad for you. So it depends on what you're cooking in it.
Lots of times we have leftovers, right? How do we? There's a myth that you shouldn't be using leftovers, especially elderly people. They don't eat leftovers. Once it's gone, it's gone. But nowadays, every wife in the house will probably put it in boxes and boxes. If you
Yep.
open the fridge, it'll be boxes, 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 and eventually they are going to the bin anyway. But there'll be loads of boxes, right? How do you store the leftovers? Do you still put it in the fridge, or what's the way to do it?
Ideally, you should refrigerate them as soon as they are cool to touch, or
Okay.
you should not leave them for a long time.
Okay. Room
Ref-
temperature.
Should not leave them at room temperature for a long time, because room temperature is the ideal medium for the growth of bacteria.
Okay.
So ideally refrigerate it straight away or soon, maybe cool them a little bit, and then refrigerate in airtight containers if possible.
That is a myth buster, because a lot of people I've seen, they don't put the food right away. They let it cool down to room temperature, wait
because
for
it increases the energy consumption of
And-
the
and-
fridge.
No, it's just
I've heard that.
It's a myth that they think that, oh, if I put it straight away, the food will go bad.
No, you should ideally.
lower it to room temperature. Then there's no need to lower it to room temperature. You can
No,
put
room
it-
temperature is the ideal temperature
Okay.
for bacteria.
A lot of kids are given these healthy dietary supplements like
Horlicks,
Horlicks. Yeah. What does it do to the kid?
nothing.
Nothing.
It just changes the taste of the milk.
It's purely sugar.
A lot of it is sugar.
It's
It has
actually unhealthy.
got. Yes, if it has sugar, it would be unhealthy. It has got a lot of supplements, nutritional supplements, but you can get it from normal diet also. So you don't need that in the milk. You can get calcium from milk itself. Why do you need calcium supplementation in Horlicks? You can get vitamins from fruits and vegetables. You don't need supplementation for that. And it has got a lot of sugar, so you should not be using it.
Another addiction toddlers have is with the chocolate thing.
Yes.
Nutella.
Yes, that has got very little hazelnut in that. Mostly it is sugar and palm
It
oil.
has hazelnut flavor, not hazelnut, I guess.
I think it has hazelnuts.
Little bit,
Little bit.
1%.
I don't
Something
know
like
the
that.
percent, but very less. Yes.
But it's purely sugar,
Palm oil and sugar.
palm oil and sugar. Very bad
Yes.
for the kid.
Not very good, no. But the thing is, what is the alternative? Sometimes,
Yeah.
you know,
What do you give?
what do you give? That's where habits come in. If you are used to eating Nutella all your life, then it would be very difficult to break that habit later on. So habits should be cultivated when the children are little.
Yeah.
And exactly.
One way to avoid is food friction. Yeah.
Food friction you mentioned, I think.
Food friction for our viewers is basically keeping things at a far distance from you, not easily accessible. If you are addicted to something, keep it on the top shelf, out of your sight, and not have it in easy reach. Jellies or Nutella, whatever you have. If you keep it inside, the kid will ask for it. Not just kid, it goes with even
Everyone.
adult.
I usually tell my clients, my members, that if you like a particular snack or a food too much, don't bring it into the house. Don't buy it. If it's not there, you won't eat it. It's drastic, but yes, sometimes you do have to take
Now
drastic
it's so
measures.
easy. You can just Deliveroo app and all those things. You
So
can-
but that depends on you. So
Yeah.
if you really want to work towards it, don't bring it. If it's in front of you, you will eat it. I don't think anybody has that kind of motivation that even if it's in front of them, they'll avoid it. Very few people can do that.
But I think food friction works. not for yourself, but for example, I remove the jelly beans out of sight of my kid and put it on the top shelf.
He forgets about it.
He forgets about it. He
Yes.
doesn't ask it.
Yeah.
So you need to create food friction between. I remember you said something about fight versus flight. Can you explain what you meant by that? Fight versus flight?
A fight versus flight is an evolutionary response to a perceived threat in our body. So, whenever there is a perceived threat, your body goes into fight or flight mode. It activates the sympathetic nervous system, which has a lot of effects, including dilatation of pupils, sweating, mobilization of fat stores, increasing your blood sugar levels, all of this in anticipation of any threat. So the body prepares itself for either fighting that threat off or just running away. But that
Give an example.
For example, you have to do a public speaking event.
Okay.
Then your fight or flight reaction comes into play. You would find that your hands are shaking, and then your hands go cold, and then your pupils dilate. You sweat a lot. Your heartbeat, the heart rhythm goes up. Tachycardia. All of this is fight or flight reaction.
So how does it relate to food?
It does not relate to food, but it relates to stress that we have nowadays.
Okay.
The levels of chronic stress we have nowadays means that your body is always in a fight or flight mode. And that is actually very detrimental to your health. It is not good for your cardiovascular health. You get blood pressure, you get heart problems, your blood sugar goes up, you get diabetes. So all sort of problems are related to the chronic stress nowadays that we have. So body is always in a fight or flight mode.
There are various diets which people follow, and it's quite trendy, keto diet, Atkins diet, low carb diet. Does diet do anything for you?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I think most of the diets
intermittent diet
would be useful for you if you stick to them. The problem with diets is not because they don't do anything for you, not because they don't make you lose weight. Yes, they do. If you follow keto properly, you would lose weight. But can you stick to keto? Can you remove carbohydrates from your diet permanently? Once you introduce carbohydrates, you're back to square one. So you gain that weight and some more. So sticking to the diet is a problem. Sustainability is a problem. You can't sustain the diet for a long time. So I would say the best diet that you can follow is something that you can do, something that you can sustain. And smaller changes are the best. You don't need to lose 10 kilos in 10 days. I don't think you can do that. And even if you do that, then you will be harming your body.
My personal experience, you know that I do a lot of fitness, exercise and stuff. I shifted to only protein diet. But the problem was that I shifted to like eating like a mouse, small meals.
Small meals.
But the trouble to that was that I started losing a lot of muscle. I started losing a lot of muscle because I didn't realize that you have to mix protein, carb, and fat and all blend together and then do workouts. You just do workout, it's not going to gain any muscle.
No.
You're going to lose muscle.
You are losing mostly water and muscle when you are dieting.
And it happened to me.
Yeah.
I can experience it. So
unless you work out, unless you eat a lot of protein and work out as well, you are going to lose muscle. You're going to lose muscle. You're going to lose water. And the last thing that you lose is fat. So fat will still remain, but your weight will go down because of the muscle weight and water weight.
Vegetarians have a lot of problem with protein. It's not, some protein. What is that, B12 or something is only in animals?
B12, vitamin B12,
yeah,
yes.
you can't get it from vegetable and stuff.
No.
So vegetarians have problems. So they go into these protein powders. Are protein powders good for you?
Well, they're not bad for you. If you think that you cannot eat that much protein that you need from food sources.
The flavored one. I'm talking about the flavored one. Are they good?
The flavored one depends. Some protein powders do have a lot of fillers, do have a lot of sugar in them as well. And most of them are unregulated. That is the problem. So they might advertise, but they would not necessarily contain that much protein in them. Lot of fillers, lot of preservatives. So you should take them from a reputed source.
I know somebody who went to one of the online shopping thing to look up for protein powders, and he looked up cheapest protein powder, right? So he got this protein powder. Then I did a bit of research on protein powder. I know a guy who actually manufactures protein powder.
Protein powders.
He said if you get the ingredients from China, it costs him 250 rupees per kilo or something.
Okay.
If he gets it from some other country, it's 1,000 rupees per kilo.
Right.
If you get it from Japan, it's 9,000 rupees per kilo. If you get the ingredients from Switzerland, it's 11,000 rupees per kilo.
Right.
So all the protein powders, the ingredients are coming from cheap China at 250. I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
That's the difference. 250 rupees per kilo, going to 11,000 rupees per kilo.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So how do you eventually a 1 kilo of protein powder works out to like 18,000 rupees or something? If
So
if it's the good one.
If it's the good one.
Yeah.
So it's best to take it from food sources. That's what I'm saying. So
don't go for the cheap one. Go for the best protein powder, I guess.
there are a few companies that are known to provide good protein powders. You can research and go for them.
Listen to this protein powder company. You guys can sponsor us. Well, what do you plan to do in future? Do you want to do private consultation? Or you do private consultation?
I do private consultations as well.
So anybody who wants to get in touch with you can get you in LinkedIn or wherever.
Yes, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. It's got my details on it. I've got a website, healthyplate.uk, so you can contact me there.
Healthyplate.co.uk.
.uk, no .co.
Healthyplate.uk.
Yeah.
Okay. You plan to write a book?
Yes,
don't have time.
at some point, because I think that I can express myself better in writing than I can articulate. So there's a lot of information in my mind that I want to share.
Okay.
So yes, I would love to write a book, but I have not started on it yet. So in the future.
You should write a book because for successful people, you need to read at least 1 hour. I mean, Bill Gates reads book every day for 1 hour. Warren Buffett reads for 5 hours.
Reading is actually very good for you.
Any successful person actually reads, right? But not everybody likes to read. So for those people, we have podcasts. So the kind of information you have given us in 1 hour is massive. Is massive kind of information squeezed into 1 hour.
Squeezed into 1 hour.
Yes. Otherwise, you have to read book, go to the pages. It will take a long time.
So I do all the reading.
You do all the reading, squeeze it in the podcast. That is one way. That's why it's very important to either read books or listen to podcasts. And people drive like 70% times of their life. Not 70%. I don't know the exact statistic, but a lot of percentage is spent while driving. We do nothing while driving. Listen to podcasts.
Listen, yeah.
And you get massive amount of information squeezed into that podcast. Yes, if you have time, read books. But you should write a book. We will wait for your book. And
hopefully
do another podcast when you launch your book. We've learned so many things in this very short time. I know you were quite concerned about this 1 hour duration, but look, it's flown off just like that. So we're going to do a rapid fire round. You give me one answer quickly, right? Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Black coffee or white?
Black.
Rice or roti?
Brown rice.
Okay. Meat or veg?
Veg.
Sugar or Saccharin.
Sugar, saccharin is a known carcinogen.
Stevia or normal saccharin.
Stevia.
Okay. Okay, let's imagine one thing. You are stranded in a desert,
Okay.
right? You're very thirsty, and I give you a diet Coke, a regular Coke, and a zero Coke, and a boba drink. Which one will you drink? You have to drink something.
Diet Coke or Coke, Coke Zero.
What's the difference in diet Coke and Coke Zero?
I've got no idea. I think
Okay.
they're the same.
Okay, that's for next. Uh, Water before meal, after meal,
Before.
during meal.
No.
Okay. Can you eat expired labeled food? Yes or no?
Some foods, yes.
Okay. Mango good for diabetes or no?
In moderation, good.
Microwave with shrink wrap food? Yes or no?
I do it. So, yes, you can.
There's no research about it.
No research about it.
Okay, so it's a myth in WhatsApp University. Reheating tea is poison. Yes or no?
No.
No.
I do
That's
it all
another
the
myth.
time.
That's another myth. That's another myth.
I never drink a full cup of tea in one go.
MSG up?
No.
No. Okay. Foxnut or Pringle?
Fox nuts.
Okay. Ice cream or kulfi?
Kulfi.
Okay. Soft egg, medium egg, or hard boiled egg?
Does not matter.
Does not matter. Okay.
At least in the UK.
Okay.
Because it's
No,
if
for your
it's lion
personal-
mark,
Okay.
then it's from hens which are vaccinated against salmonella.
Okay.
So you can have it soft boiled. It would not harm your health.
Well, thank you so much. You have given us wealth of knowledge and amazing kind of knowledge. Anybody listening to this, trust me, within 1 hour, you have gained so much of knowledge, which you will probably have to spend 1 year in university to learn all this. And we busted so many myths around food and nutrition. And thanks to Dr. Jasdeep.
Thank you.
People say that you should only eat live food. That means anything which moves,
Mm-hmm.
right? Anything which grows.
Yeah.
Otherwise, don't eat it. Is that true?
All food should come from something that's living. That's true. But as we mentioned, we might have to have something that is minimally processed. So ideally, your food should come from natural sources. Most of your food, 80% of your food should come from natural. In fact, more than that. So anything that is living, moving, or
Growing.
growing, yes, most of your food.
So that's another advice, guys. I, do you know about the blue zone?
I do.
What is
The
blue zone?
longevity.
Yeah.
Blue zones are the longevity zones.
There are
There are a
places,
few.
There are 3 or 4 places in the world where
Yes, there's
people
Loma
look-
Linda in California. There's Okinawa in Japan. And there's one in Greece. I've forgotten the name of that. And I think a couple more.
something in South America somewhere.
I've forgotten
Yeah.
where they are. One in Greece.
But why is there any research? Why there people live so long?
Yeah, exactly. Blue zones are where people, there are maximum number of people who have closer to 100. So crossed 100, maximum number of people. So it's just depending on their diet. It's what they eat, the kind of life that they live. It's not just diet. I think there are a few things that have been highlighted. Diet, yes, is one of them. But I think a sense of purpose is also very important. People who live longer do not sit at home. They keep moving. They have got a sense of purpose and a sense of community as well. I think these two things are lacking in today's modern world. We can take care of your diet, but making sure that you keep moving, keep doing something, and you should have a sense of purpose and community is also very important. These are one of the things that have been highlighted from the blue zones.
Well, we have come to the end of our podcast, and there's a small little gift for you. Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
coming
Thank
in.
you for having me. Thank you so much for this.
There's part two missing. So, thanks a lot, and thank you for giving us your time. That was amazing podcast, and I'm sure the viewers will love it.
I hope so.
And hope to do another session with you
Sure.
after some time.
Sure.
Thank you, Dr. Jasdeep Gupta.
Thank you.
For viewers, please subscribe to the channel and share it with anybody who might find this very informative. At least one person who can make something out of it. Your support will make this channel grow and help me get lots of knowledgeable people in our show. Thank you so much. See you next time.